Hello everybody, this is John1 and I'll be showing you my next equipment showcase video. And now in this episode here, we're going to be looking at Knight Kirk's armor. As you can see, it's some really gnarly armor. It has like thorns all over it. Yeah, it's pretty mean looking. But if you're wearing this armor and you roll into an enemy, you'll actually do some damage. Now, if you wear the full set, it'll do 14 damage to the enemy. And I don't know if it scales with the enemy's defense, but I don't think it does. Although it is possible to block the roll attack. The roll attack, it's not that useful for the most part. Although there were quite a few moments where I got lucky, and it kind of saved me in quite a few ways. For an example, in one PvP match, I think I was rolling towards my enemy, and they were going for a backstab. So I actually managed to deal damage to them while they were backstabbing me, so that with my roll attack, so that actually saved me from that backstab. So Knight Kirk's sword that he uses is the Barb straight sword. It's an alright sword, but you know, it's just another straight sword to me. I'm not a very big fan of the straight swords for PvP, but I managed. This was actually the first time I even used a straight sword in the entire game. Well, I've used it a little bit, but not this much. Not nearly this much. The straight sword here does do 300 bleeding damage. Oh, and by the way, the shield has a bash attack and it does not parry. And I actually upgraded the shield to plus 10 fire. So the bash attack actually does some decent damage. Now, to obtain Knight Kirk's sword and shield, you have to allow him to invade you, and you know, for him to invade you, you have to be in human form, and you have to have not beaten the boss in the areas that he can possibly invade you in. Now here in this clip, I was actually doing some co-op with my friend here. I was gonna do some commentary, but I don't think I had my microphone at this time when I recorded this, so I was unable to do commentary on that co-op session. Now here, the second place, oh by the way, that first place that Knight Kirk can invade you in is the depth, or the depths. And now the second place here is the beginning. Well actually, yeah, it's kind of in the middle of the demon ruins here. It's after you beat the ceaseless discharge, you go down here, you start walking down that narrow path and you'll run into him. And the third place is actually in the Lost Isolath, I think it's called. Oh, and by the way, it is randomized. The item drop is randomized, and it's possible to get both the sword and shield from any one of them, but it's also possible to get either one, and it's also possible to get nothing at all. But if you kill him all 3 times of those 3 possible times you can fight him, you will. It's just a guaranteed chance to receive at least 1 sword and 1 shield. Well, actually, you can only receive 1 sword and 1 shield, so yeah, it's a guaranteed chance you'll get those items. Now, after you have killed him 3 times, you should go teleport or warp to, I think it's the Chaos Witch. Well, it's the place where you join the Chaos Witch Covenant, or the Chaos Covenant, whatever it's called, and you turn around and you'll see the items on the corpse right there. So just go right on over and pick them up off the corpse. And after I pick them up here, I show you a picture of me wearing it. Yeah, once again, it's not very friendly armor. It doesn't look that friendly anyways. So the armor's defense, it's decent, but it's not that great. Oh, and by the way, in this clip right here, my sword is not upgraded at all. So I'm just relying on Crystal Magic Weapon to do all the damage, and the bleeding damage, do quite a bit of damage. Now, I don't really have that much player versus environment like footage for you guys, but I didn't really feel it was that necessary. Besides, I did have 3 battles where I fought Knight Kirk at least. So I was recording here and I was thinking that I did not beat the butchers yet, but apparently I had forgotten that I had already beaten the butchers. The guys with the butcher knives and they're like fat, and yeah, you know, those guys. So my friend that I play a lot of Dark Souls and other video games with, he was looking up games that are similar to Dark Souls or something like that, and he found this one that's coming out at the end of May this year called Dragon's Dogma. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of it, But I looked at some videos of it and it does look really interesting. I was thinking about possibly getting it. I don't know. It for sure I'll get it if it has multiplayer. Well, I'll be much more likely to get it if it has multiplayer. Otherwise, if it only has single player, I don't know. Possibly won't get it. Now here you see me use the shield's bash attack, which is especially useful against these guys. But you know, just because these guys are weak to fire and my bash attacks deal fire damage. So keep slashing at them. Oh yeah, Dragon's Dogma. I don't know if it's gonna be like a game that's centered around the element of challenge like Dark Souls, but I really hope it is. It's for sure gonna be a third-person action RPG game, which is, you know, what Dark Souls is pretty much. And well, yeah, we'll see if that game's any good. Now I do have quite a bit of PvP for you guys today. And well, while I was invading in the kiln, I'd actually run into a lot of trolls and griefers, might we say. Yeah, I found like quite a few people that were wearing like full Giant's armor set, you know, and doing a bunch of other fun stuff like triple teaming me, but you know, that's just Dark Souls for you. So anyways, yeah, I go on here to fight this guy who looks very similar to King Jeremiah. And he manages to hit me right there. I kind of got stuck between the pillars, so I started to run back, but I did not evade that last attack. So I go here, and I fail to hit him. He fails to hit me, but I run around him, get a backstab, and that nearly takes him out. Let's see. Oh yeah, by the way, the heavy attack with this weapon, I find it very, very useful, and I nearly get a roll backstab right there, but I end up just rolling, then backstabbing after he tries to hit me but misses me. So I take a bow to him, and moving on to the next battle. Now this guy here is pretty easy. I mean, probably the easiest person I fought in all my time of invading people. So the heavy attack, yes, it's very good. It's much, much better than the sword's normal attacks. And right there you see me break that guy's poise, interrupt his jump attack, which was really awesome. I don't know how much poise he actually had, but well, I managed to break his poise, or his interrupt his attack. So yes, the heavy attack with this sword, it's like my favorite attack of all. It's the only reason I like this sword. I don't know if it's like a regular heavy attack, just shows how familiar I am with the straight swords. I don't know if it's like a regular heavy attack or if it's unique to this sword. I haven't even like checked out the other straight swords. I've only used like great swords, ultra great swords, most strength weapons, and like a bunch of magic weapons, as well as some other weapons. So anyways, yeah, I go on to fight this guy here. I don't know what this guy was doing. I mean, he was using a Murakumo, but it was such weak damage. I mean, seriously, my attacks did like as much damage as his Murakumo attacks, or maybe more. And you know, and yet that's a curved greatsword. It should do a lot more damage than that. Not to mention, I don't think this guy had any poise at all. Well, actually, he did have a little bit of poise, because if this guy had no poise at all, then my rolling into him would have dealt damage and would have interrupted him. Right there, he goes for a backstab, you can tell, but, well, he fails. Now here I just start slamming the R1 button. Kind of got tired of him dancing around with me, and I just take him out. So, now here I am, I'm finally get a chance to invade someone else. It seemed like most of my matches were actually other people invading me, which I had not intended at all. But, you know, it's just how things are sometimes. So here, this is another mage, another sorcerer. Oh, and by the way, later on we'll see that I actually just happened to run into one of my subscribers. But I'll talk about that when I show the battle of me versus him. So yeah, I'm just fighting this person using that heavy attack still. I like the heavy attack and how it has like a 2-hit combo. Like, you know, it kind of runs forward, moves your character forward, then it does a second swing. And like I said, it does some really good damage and breaks the poise pretty well. I almost get a roll backstab right there, but I kind of miss it. Now it would seem to me that this person They kept on walking around me. I'd assumed that they were trying to backstab me, but I don't think they ever did. Right there, I was out of stamina. I really felt like I was going to get backstabbed, but luckily I did not. Now here, my weapon ran out of enchantment. I was just starting to swing away, hitting the R1 button. I assume this person is using Velka's rapier, just saying that they're a magic build. Actually, I think that's the stock. Well, I don't know, but it is definitely a thrusting weapon. And here, if you listen to the game sound, you can actually hear them blocking my roll attacks. Oh, and by the way, I fought other people wearing this armor. Oh man, I got a nice, lucky rollback stab right there. But I fought other people using this armor and using the roll attacks with the armor to actually get past my guard. It was rather strange, but I don't know how they did it. So here I do go on to fight 2 people, but I don't really fight 2 people because they summon another dark spirit. And well, I wasn't sure if they had intended to double team me, but it sure looks like it. So I just decided to use some cheap tactics. And by cheap, I mean just spam backstab. And I'm fighting the owner or the host of the world right here, so after I take him out, it's just game over for everyone. Well, you know, for his co-op partner, then I guess success for me since I'm the invader. So yeah, I run around him, get him a nice backstab. I don't do a chain backstab, so it's not that cheap. I do give him another chance, I suppose you could say, but I run around him once again to finish him off. Now I was running up here, and I was thinking, oh, maybe I have a second just to take this guy out, but he disappears right in front of me. Now this next match here, yeah, I believe this is the person that sent me a message. I did fight this person 3 times. They invaded me 3 times, which I had not intended at all. The very first time, I wasn't paying attention to the name. Then after the match, I just got what I thought was a random message. But it turns out later that, well, this person recognized me, and I suppose it was just a huge coincidence that I ran into them invading. Now, I don't know what I was doing right here. I backstabbed this person, Rocking Roll, I believe this person's name is. I don't know what their YouTube username is, but perhaps we'll see. So I backstabbed them, or him, and I really expected to win. I was thinking, well, that's like game win for me. And this person manages to parry me and finish me off. Now, I don't know why, but it seems like all the people that I duel, they manage to parry me so easy. Though, you know, when I try it, it's not that easy for me. I guess maybe my attacks are predictable or something. Now, here we go for my last clip, my last PvP match. I do invade someone in the Demon Ruins. And I believe this person was one of those people that don't want to be invaded. But, you know, that's just how this game works. Yeah, I don't think this game really plays in your favor. This guy nearly gets hit by that worm acid attack. So this person is a flasker, but like I said, I don't think this person intended to get invaded, so I don't really complain. Besides, the flasking just gets them killed in the end, you'll see. And right there, the wide radius of the heavy attack. Oh yeah, something else that's really nice about it is its huge radius and its surprisingly good range. Now right here, we had taken hits for hits, and well, I somehow managed to back up and get a backstab on this person. I think that was partially due to the lag. And now this person had such low HP. Of course, they ran away, they started flasking. I barely managed to get a backstab on them once again. And now, I was going for a chain BS to be honest, but I failed. And now look at this. They flask, I backstab him, and that manages to push him off. Well, thanks to the Hornet's ring, I think I managed to kill them that way. So guys, thanks for watching. Goodbye.